The phone was warm from sitting on the windowsill, still plugged in where I'd left it the night before. I picked it up with one hand while drying the other on my hoodie, not expecting anything except maybe my mom's usual "good morning, son" in the group chat. Instead, there was a photo of a $450 air fryer and a message from my sister that read, "Claimed by Aunt Shell, don't double buy." My thumb hovered over the screen. I blinked. What the hell? It started 3 days ago. I was in line at the DMV, my third attempt in 2 weeks to get my registration renewed, when my phone buzzed with a message from the family group chat titled Team Calderon Blue Heart. It was a picture of my sister Allison and her fiancé Brent standing in front of a white gazebo, both smiling like they'd just walked out of a Pottery Barn catalog. The caption underneath: "We're officially 6 months out, let the countdown begin." No big deal, I sent a thumbs up emoji and moved on with my day. But that same evening, after reheating some leftover chili and finally sitting down to unwind, I opened the chat again. It was different. The last 20 messages weren't conversations. They were links, all Amazon, Target, Crate, and Barrel. Each one had a price, a brief description, and a reserved by note underneath, like this was some sort of RSVP system. Even my dad had chimed in. Got the espresso machine beaming face with smiling eyes. I scrolled up, thinking maybe I missed something, like a separate link to an actual wedding registry website. Maybe she just wanted to share a preview. Nope. There was a pinned message from Allison at the top. "Hi fam, I'm keeping everything simple this year. Just use this thread to claim gifts so we don't overlap. TY. No, please, no, hope this is okay. Just assumed authority." Like our group chat, the one we used to coordinate birthdays, check in on mom after her knee surgery, and share dumb memes, was now her personal gift spreadsheet. I didn't say anything that night. Honestly, I didn't know what to say. I'm not confrontational by nature, especially not with family, but it felt off, a little entitled. Okay, a lot entitled. And the more I scrolled, the more irritated I got. It wasn't just the way she was posting, it was the stuff on the list. $320 Dyson hair dryer. Matching monogram towels. A wine fridge that cost more than my rent. A freaking rowing machine. Brent even chimed in with, "We're trying to upgrade our kitchen setup, so anything from the Williams-Sonoma list would be amazing fire." They weren't just registering for a wedding. They were crowdfunding their ideal lifestyle. The next morning, my mom texted me privately. "Can you grab the cheese board set? It's only $80 and she really wants it growing heart." I stared at it for a while. Then I replied, "I'm not sure I can swing that this month." She didn't respond. Not a guilt trip, not a follow-up. Just silence. Which in our family is worse. I've got a job, I'm not broke. I'm a data analyst for a local logistics firm. Pays okay, but rent, gone up, groceries are brutal, and I'm still chipping away at my student loans. I'm not the guy who drops $150 on towels just because they say Mr. and Mrs. in gold stitching. And here's the thing, I love my sister. We were close growing up. She's 3 years younger, always the louder one, always had the spotlight. I didn't mind it. She was funny, smart, knew how to work a room. I was more of the background guy. I helped her with math homework, showed her how to use Dad's old Canon DSLR, and when she got her heart broken in college, she called me first. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. She got the job at the marketing agency in Chicago, started dating Brent, this perfectly average finance guy with a too-clean haircut and a voice like toast. They got engaged last Christmas, and suddenly everything in her orbit revolved around wedding hashtags, color palettes, and phrases like elevated rustic. She started using words like intentional living and curated guest experience. And now she turned our family chat into a damn catalog. The turning point came when Uncle Ray posted a screenshot of the waffle maker he was thinking of buying. He added, "Hope this one's good enough, Allie," grinning face with sweat. She replied, "Oh, actually that one's not the one on our list. The one we want is the Breville model. It's $229, but it comes with 4 interchangeable plates and digital timers, 2 hearts." That's when I snapped. I didn't reply in the group chat. I waited until that night and called her directly. "Hey," I said. "Hey," she answered, "what's up?" "I've been reading the chat," I said, keeping my voice steady. "It kinda feels like you've taken over." She laughed. "Taken over? I mean, yeah, you pinned a message turning it into a registry. People are treating it like a checkout line. She paused. Then, well, it's just easier this way, less hassle. I didn't want to set up a whole site and deal with syncing multiple platforms. But it's our family group chat. And, she said sharper now, is it really that big a deal? I didn't answer. She kept going, I'm just trying to make sure things stay organized. If it bothers you that much, mute it or something. That stung more than I expected. I'm not mad, I said, though I kind of was. It just feels kinda transactional, like the whole group been repurposed. Another pause. Then, I don't have time for this, she said. You don't have to buy anything. Nobody's forcing you. Just don't make this a thing, okay? The next day, she added her college roommate to the chat, a woman none of us had ever met. Hey everyone, this is Janice. She's coordinating my bridal party gifts. Please send her your mailing addresses. That's when Dad finally texted me directly. Is this normal? I didn't know how to answer. Was it? Is this what weddings have become, a 6-month buildup of curated consumerism and passive-aggressive gift nudging? Or was it just her? That weekend, my cousin Marco tried to stir the pot. He replied to one of the links with, "Yo, can we get a wedding registry and a wish list for rent assistance while we're at it?" Face with tears of joy. She didn't respond. But 2 hours later, a new message appeared at the top of the chat. Just a reminder, this thread is for supportive family only. If you can't be kind, feel free to leave. And a moment later, Marco was removed from the group. She kicked him out of our family group chat. For a joke. I stared at the screen for a long time. I didn't write anything. Didn't leave the group. Didn't buy the cheese board. But I started screenshotting. Because if this was the hill she wanted to die on, I wanted a record. It was 7:40 on a Monday morning when I realized the group chat now had rules. Not just a pinned message or a wedding countdown, actual rules like a Reddit mod post. I was sitting in the break room at work, nursing a burnt cup of coffee and flipping through my notifications when I saw the update. Group description updated by Allison. I tapped it. It read, "Welcome to Team Calderon Wedding Edition Party Ring. Calendar event date May 24th. Wrapped gift claims below. Prohibited no spam, side convos or off-topic posts please. Bride man, let's make it beautiful." I nearly spit out my coffee. Side convos. Side convos. In a family group chat. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. The warning signs had been stacking for weeks, but something about that last edit made it feel final, like we were all being recast as supporting roles in the Allison and Brent show, and any dialogue not about their curated gift dreams was getting cut from the script. A few minutes later, I got a Slack ping from my boss. "Quick sync at 9, bring the invoice audit notes." I shoved the phone in my hoodie pocket, trying to push the wedding nonsense out of my brain and switch back into spreadsheet mode. But the chat kept popping back in, because right after work I saw something that pushed me over the edge. She posted a reminder poll. The kind you see in group chats for potlucks or team lunches. But this one, it had 2 options. White heavy checkmark claimed a gift. Crossmark still deciding please remind me later. And the kicker, it was anonymous. So she could track how many people hadn't participated yet, without knowing who. Except we all knew what that meant. It was a list of who hadn't paid up yet. That night my brother Joel called me. Joel lives in Austin, married, 2 kids, he's busy, always is, but solid, quiet, the kind of guy who fixes your sink without telling you he did it. I hadn't spoken to him directly since Christmas. "Hey," he said, sounding tired. "Hey," I replied, "you saw it." "Yeah." He didn't need to explain what it was. There was a pause, then a sigh. "She kicked out Marco," I said. "I know," I texted him, he thought it was hilarious actually. We both chuckled a little, then Joel went quiet again. "I'm not getting her anything," he said finally. That caught me off guard. Seriously? I already booked flights for me and Lana, paid for the hotel, took time off work, arranged a sitter. That's my gift, that's enough. "Have you told Mom?" "No, I will probably eventually." We sat in the silence of our mutual resignation. Then Joel asked, "You?" "I was gonna get her something small, now I don't know." He chuckled again, this time dry. You know what Lana said? She thinks Allison's acting like a startup founder trying to raise a Series A. All she's missing is a pitch deck and a logo. I laughed harder than I should have. Because he wasn't wrong. The next night, things escalated. Allison created a second chat. It popped up around 8 p.m. titled, Team Calderon Wedding VIPs. No joke, VIPs. And this one had only 10 members. I counted. 10. Gone were Aunt Shell, Uncle Ray, and all the cousins. Only immediate family remained, Mom, Dad, Joel, me. Plus Brent's mom, her 2 best friends, and Janice, the gift coordinator. The welcome message said, This is the finalized list for wedding planning comms. Please do not add others. This is a safe, supportive space for those closest to the process growing heart. That phrase, safe, supportive space, I nearly dropped my phone. Like we'd been creating a hostile environment for daring to ask whether an $800 Vitamix was necessary. I didn't respond. Joel didn't either. Dad left it confused and nothing else. And Mom stayed silent. She'd always been the glue in our family, a soft-spoken high school librarian who believed in gentle correction and baked ziti. Her strategy with conflict was always to sleep on it, let people cool down, or prey on it. That night, she broke her silence with just one message. Let's not argue, this is her special time. And with that, the trap was set. Because any criticism now, no matter how gentle, could be dismissed as ruining her moment. The final straw came a week later. I'd just come home from a terrible meeting at work. My project proposal got pushed again, and I was on the verge of either rage quitting or submitting to another 6 months of mediocrity. I tossed my laptop bag onto the couch, kicked off my shoes, and instinctively checked the group chat, half out of habit, half out of masochism. There it was. A mass tag. It all tagged. First time in the history of the chat. And the message. Hey everyone, last call to reserve gifts by Friday so we can mark our spreadsheet complete before the venue walkthrough. Folded. Don't make us follow up individually, haha. Don't make us follow up individually. That's when something in me cracked. I typed. Deleted. Typed again. Then finally I sent. Hey Allison, maybe we could move all the wedding stuff to a separate thread. This group's always been for family stuff, not just gift organizing. She replied within 5 minutes. This is family stuff, smiling face with smiling eyes. It's our wedding and it's a family event. Everyone included. And then she added, if it bothers you so much, maybe just take a step back until you're in a better place to celebrate joyfully with us. I stared at the screen. I didn't even realize I was grinding my teeth until my jaw started to ache. That night, I did something I hadn't done in years. I left the chat. Not silently. Not loudly either. Just a short message before I tapped the leave group button. I love you, but this doesn't feel like family anymore. The fallout started the next morning. Mom called twice. Dad sent a sad face emoji. Joel texted, you okay? And Allison. She posted a screenshot of my exit in the wedding VIP chat with the caption. Some people just can't handle boundaries. Nail polish, let's keep things positive. She posted that to the chat where I wasn't even a member anymore. Someone screenshotted it and sent it to Joel. Joel sent it to me. And I finally sent something back. To everyone. I started a new group chat. Just called it Calderon Family Actual. I added Mom, Dad, Joel, Aunt Shell, Uncle Ray, Marco, everyone. Then I posted, this isn't about gifts, this is about what kind of family we want to be. If you missed that, cool. But some of us just want to talk about Nana's surgery or share old photos or ask who's bringing the green beans to Thanksgiving. The chat started slow. 1 or 2 likes. Then Aunt Shell posted a selfie with her dog. Uncle Ray added a blurry picture of his new grill. Marco replied, is this the drama-free zone? I brought snacks. And slowly it felt like us again. Without checklists. Without polls. Without registries or VIPs. Just family. Halfway through reheating a frozen burrito, I heard the distinct chime of a calendar invite pop up on my phone. I didn't even have to look. I knew it was wedding related. I left the burrito spinning in the microwave and picked up my phone. Subject line. Allison and Brent, final gifting review Zoom laptop app sparkles. Seriously. I opened the invite. Sure enough, it was real. Date Saturday. Time 3 p.m. sharp. Location Zoom. Attendees me, Joel, Mom, Dad, Brent, Allison, and Janice again. In the notes section, please come prepared with your final gift confirmations so we can ensure everything is ordered and delivered on time. There will be a short Kahoot quiz to make it fun. 2 clinking. A Kahoot quiz. For a registry. I wish I was making that up. I FaceTimed Joel the moment I finished eating. He looked like he'd been waiting for my call. She actually put it on the calendar, I said. I know. With a quiz. I know. I paused. Are you going? He tilted his head and raised an eyebrow. Am I going to a virtual gift audit hosted by a woman I've never met for a wedding that already costs me half a paycheck and a weekend of small talk with Brent's cousins? No. Just checking. We both sat there for a moment. Neither of us said it out loud, but we knew this wasn't just about the wedding anymore. It was about control. About the way Allison had decided this moment in her life gave her the right to treat the rest of us like line items on a spreadsheet. I didn't RSVP to the Zoom. The next morning, she texted me directly. Allison, hey, just noticed you haven't accepted the invite. Is everything okay? I let it sit for a whole hour. Then I wrote back, I'm not available Saturday, hope it goes well. She didn't reply right away. But that afternoon, I got a new notification. She posted a spreadsheet link in the VIP chat. I had to ask Joel for a screenshot. The title, Gift Status Matrix Final, Do Not Edit. Color-coded cells. Tabs for pending, claimed, delivered, and non-participants. My name. Right there in the non-participants tab. Highlighted in yellow. Below it. Still has not selected a gift, follow-up pending. It was surreal. Like being a character in someone's event planning dystopia. What pushed me over the edge wasn't the spreadsheet. It was a text from Mom later that night. She sent a picture of a salad bowl. Then, do you think this is fancy enough for their dinner table? I don't want her to feel embarrassed if mine looks cheap. That broke me. My mom, who spent her whole life sacrificing, budgeting, saying we'll make do, was now worrying about being embarrassed because a bowl wasn't curated enough. I called her. Mom, I said as gently as I could, you don't need to buy her anything. I know, she said quietly, but it's her special day. You already did more than enough. You're paying for the dress alterations, you made all those hand-sewn gift bags, you hosted the engagement party. She didn't even say thank you, she said suddenly. That stopped me. She didn't thank me for the party, Mom whispered, just asked if I could Venmo Janice for the balloons because it wasn't in her budget. I sat with that. Then I said, you don't have to let her make you feel small just because she wants to feel big. Mom didn't reply. But the next morning she texted me. I left the wedding chat, just wanted you to know. The chain reaction started slow. That same afternoon, Joel sent me a screenshot. Dad had left too. He didn't say anything, just exited. Then Aunt Shell. Then Marco again, this time for good. By Friday morning, the VIP group had gone from 10 people to 4. Allison, Brent, Janice, and Brent's mom. That was it. At exactly 3:07 p.m. on Saturday, Joel sent me a text. Joel. Apparently the quiz crashed, Janice didn't upgrade the Kahoot license. I replied. How do you fail at gift quizzes? Joel. By making people take them. 2 days later, Allison posted a story on Instagram. A photo of an empty wine glass and a caption. Can't believe the people closest to you can make you feel the most unsupported. I rolled my eyes. I wasn't going to engage, I really was. But then she followed it with another story. This one. It had screenshots. Of the non-participants spreadsheet. Of texts from Dad asking if she really needed to include a $500 blender. Of a cropped message from Mom saying, I don't want her to feel embarrassed. All posted in public. All made to look like we'd failed her. The final slide said, if you can't clap when I'm winning, you were never on my team. That's when I cracked. I posted nothing, no drama, no subtweets. But I sat down that night, opened my laptop, and started writing a letter. Not to her. To the people in our real family chat. To the ones who didn't need a spreadsheet to care. I titled it What Weddings Can't Buy. And I wrote, my sister's wedding taught me a lot. Not about love, not about celebration. About control, about what happens when someone mistakes generosity for obligation. When the people closest to you are turned into inventory, ranked, tracked, and sorted based on how expensive their affection is. The real gift, it's never the Vitamix, it's showing up. It's the hours we take off work, the texts we send after long days, the casseroles we bring, the patience we extend. It's understanding that a family group chat isn't a billboard, it's a lifeline. And if you're too busy trying to look supported, you might forget how it feels to be loved. I sent it to the family chat. A few minutes later, Aunt Shell replied with a heart. Then Uncle Ray. Then Joel. Then Dad. Then Marco, who wrote, you should have put that on a t-shirt. Allison never replied. But the next day, the VIP chat was deleted. Not archived, not renamed. Deleted. Gone. And 3 hours later, my phone buzzed again. New message from Allison. Just to me. So I guess I'm the villain now. I stared at it for a while. Then I wrote back. You're not a villain, you're my sister. But if you treat family like employees, don't be surprised when they stop clocking in. She left me on read. I almost didn't go to the wedding. Not out of spite, honestly, by then I was just tired. Tired of feeling like a price tag. Tired of explaining myself. Tired of watching something that was supposed to bring us together turn into a catalog war with hurt feelings buried under pastel emojis and curated Pinterest links. But Mom asked me to come, and I still loved my sister. So I packed my dress shirt, skipped the registry, and booked a cheap hotel anyway. The drive to the venue was 2.5 hours through flat farmland and dead cell service. The kind of trip that makes you wonder if you missed an important turn even when the GPS is still telling you to go straight. I pulled into the gravel lot behind the winery just as the sun started sinking behind the hills. It was all very Instagrammable. White chairs on a rolling green lawn, Edison bulbs strung between oak trees, a welcome sign written in faux calligraphy that said, "Today's vibe, elevated romance ring sparkles." I wanted to gag. Joel pulled in right after me, wearing a suit that clearly hadn't been dry cleaned and sunglasses with one arm taped. He gave me a nod. "I see you got the memo about elevated romance," I said, gesturing to his target tie. "Only thing elevated is my blood pressure," he replied. We both laughed, which felt good. Then Mom and Dad arrived in their Honda, looking tired but put together. Mom wore her navy dress and pearls. Dad wore his one nice blazer from when he officiated a retirement ceremony 10 years ago. We all stood there for a minute looking at the venue. No one moved. "All right," Dad said finally, adjusting his tie. "Let's go see our daughter try to win the internet." The ceremony was short. I'll give Allison that, she kept it under 20 minutes. White pedals, acoustic guitar, vows that sounded like they were drafted in Canva. When she walked down the aisle, everyone turned. She did look beautiful, that part I won't lie about. But when she locked eyes with Brent at the altar, I couldn't help but notice. He didn't smile. Not once. Just nodded like someone confirming a business merger. The reception was when things got weird. We sat at table 6, the Calderon Core 4, me, Joel, Mom, and Dad, tucked away near the back. The front table's all Brent's team. His work friends, his college buddies, his mother's wine club. And right next to the DJ booth, Janice. Yes, still here. Wearing a headset. Holding a clipboard. I couldn't make this up. Dinner started with a mini toast from Allison. "Thank you to everyone who believed in this vision," she said, raising her glass. "You didn't just help build our registry, you helped build our future." I choked a little on my wine. Joel muttered, "Was that a wedding speech or a TED Talk?" Mom shot us both a look, but she didn't smile. Not even once. Then came the slideshow. Projected onto the vineyard wall. It started innocent enough, baby pics, awkward school portraits, vacation shots. But around slide 18, things took a turn. Up came a slide titled, Those who made it happen, 2 hearts. It listed names. Every single one. Next to each name, the item they gifted. Uncle Ray espresso machine. Aunt Shell air fryer. Dad knife set. Joel luggage. Lana Dutch oven. Mom dress alterations. Brent's mom venue deposit. Brent's boss gift card. Janice coordination services. Then at the bottom in plain white font. Unconfirmed gifts, Matthew Calderon. I felt Joel freeze next to me. I couldn't breathe. The room didn't gasp or anything, it wasn't that dramatic. Most people were too busy clinking glasses or chewing chicken. But at our table, it landed like a sucker punch. I turned to look at Allison. She wasn't even glancing back. She was laughing at something Janice had said. That was when Mom stood up. She didn't shout, didn't storm. She just stood quietly and walked out. Dad followed her a moment later. Joel looked at me, lips tight. Then he stood too. Coming, he asked. I sat for half a second longer, watching my sister do her little curated laugh with Brent. Then I got up. We stood by the gravel parking lot again, under those dumb string lights. Mom was crying, not loud, just quiet tears. I tried so hard, she whispered. I did everything right. You did, Dad said, putting an arm around her. Joel and I said nothing. We just stood there, 4 people who had once been a family and now looked like the guests at a funeral for something we couldn't name. None of us went back inside. I heard later that Janice took over the rest of the event coordination. That the gift raffle went off without a hitch. That Brent's groomsman gave a speech about partnerships built on structure and goals. I also heard that several people asked where we went. Allison told them we had a long drive. Which technically wasn't a lie. 2 days later, I got a handwritten card in the mail. Thick ivory paper. Gold foil lettering on the envelope, A+B. Inside it read, Matthew, I'm sorry if you felt excluded, that was never my intention. But I needed this wedding to be about more than tradition. I needed it to reflect our standards. Not everyone could meet them, and that's okay. Thank you for attending. Allison. No mention of the slideshow. No mention of the spreadsheet. No apology for nomming me in front of 100 strangers as the unconfirmed gift. Just that cold line, not everyone could meet them. I tore the card in half. Not out of rage. Just clarity. Joel texted me that night. Joel. She sent me the same card. Me. Did it help? Joel. Nope, but it confirmed a lot. Later, I got a message from Marco. He'd heard what happened at the wedding from Aunt Shell. He sent me a link. A Reddit post, actually. r/wedding shaming. The title. Bride makes registry spreadsheet public at wedding, shames brother in slideshow. There were pictures. Not from us. Someone else at the wedding had posted them. The internet was already calling her spreadsheet bride. And somehow, I didn't even feel vindicated. Just tired. The thank you gift wasn't heavy, just hollow. A thin, square parcel showed up 2 weeks after the wedding, no note, no card, no return address. Just my name in neat cursive and a shipping label from some boutique in Connecticut. Inside was a marble coaster set, 4 of them, each etched with gold lettering that read, M+BS 2025. I held one in my palm for a long time, staring at the initials. Mine. And Brent. Not hers. It had been quiet since the wedding. Not peaceful, just quiet. The kind of silence you don't want to poke because you're afraid of what's under it, like tapping the top of a rotten log and watching something scurry. Our new family chat had been alive, though. People were checking in, sharing dog pics, posting about Nana's surgery recovery. It felt normal again, human, untouched by algorithms or registries. Allison, radio silence. Even Mom hadn't heard much beyond the coasters. 3 weeks after the wedding, Allison finally texted me. It was short. Can we talk? No emojis, no gifs. Just 3 words. I replied. Sure, call when you're ready. She didn't call that day. Or the next. But the 3rd day she rang. Late, almost 11. Hey, I answered. She sounded small. Hey. Long pause. I saw the Reddit post, she said finally. Of course she had. It's everywhere, she added. People are calling me a spreadsheet psycho. Janice deleted all her accounts. Brent's mom said it's the most humiliating thing to ever happen to their family. I didn't say anything. She continued, I know what you're thinking. You don't, I said quietly, but go ahead. She sniffed, I just wanted it to be perfect. I really did. I wanted something that felt controlled, like if I could manage every piece, then nothing could go wrong. You were afraid, I said. That caught her. She paused. Yeah. Then she laughed bitter and brittle. I didn't expect it to turn into a war. It didn't have to, I said. I know, she said, but people kept making comments like Marco or Dad questioning the blender, and I thought, I don't know if I kept it organized, if I made it clear, then no one could say they didn't understand the plan. I almost told her that people aren't ingredients in a wedding recipe. That families aren't workflows. That affection isn't something you spreadsheet. But instead I said we were trying to show up, you just didn't like how we did it. Silence again. Then softly, I miss when we just talked about dumb stuff in the group chat, memes and birthdays and who was late to Thanksgiving. Me too. Another pause. I shouldn't have posted that slideshow, she said. No, I said you shouldn't have. I thought people would laugh like it was lighthearted. You made a joke out of us, I said, and we weren't in on it. Her voice cracked, I didn't know how far I'd gone. You did, you just didn't stop. We sat in the quiet again. Sometimes it's easier to be angry than to be disappointed. Then she asked the question I didn't expect. Can I come back to the family chat? Not can I fix it. Not can I talk to everyone. Just that. That one soft, simple thing. I thought about it. About Mom wiping her eyes in the parking lot. About the coasters. About Joel's taped sunglasses and the slideshow humiliation. But also about childhood. Bike rides. Board games. How she used to sneak me peanut butter spoons when I got grounded. So I said, not right away. She didn't reply for a second. Then, okay. Start with Mom, I said. Talk to her, don't text. Call, then Joel, then Dad. Tell them what you told me. Ask them how they felt. Then maybe if they want, you come back. That's fair, she said. And leave Janice out of it. She actually laughed a little at that. Yeah, she's done. Over the next 2 weeks, things shifted. I didn't press, I didn't ask for updates, but one by one I saw the signs. Joel mentioned that Allison called and actually listened. Mom forwarded a photo of a pie Allison dropped off, captioned, "It's not registry-worthy, but it's homemade blue heart." And Dad, he posted a photo in our family chat. A screenshot of a Zoom call. All 4 of them smiling. No spreadsheets in sight. Then one Sunday night my phone buzzed. Allison had joined the group chat. No fanfare. No announcement. Just a single gif of a puppy knocking over a flower pot, followed by, "Sorry I've been MIA, hope I didn't miss any green bean debates." A few people loved the message. Joel replied with a side-eye emoji. Dad sent a thumbs up. And Mom sent, "Welcome back, the potluck is still at our place, bring that pie." Later that week, a small box showed up on my doorstep. No card. Just a loaf of banana bread still warm. And underneath it, a sticky note. Not everything needs to be earned, some things just need to be shared. I still haven't used the coasters. But I did take them out of the box. They sit on my shelf now, not as a gift, but as a reminder. That people can lose their way, even with good intentions. That families can be messy and complicated and still worth showing up for. That sometimes the most radical thing you can do is leave a chat and still answer the phone when it rings. If this story moved you, subscribe for more real-life confessions and emotional journeys like this one.